Hey guys, Jenna here with Tiny House Giant Journey, and today I'm going to go through a little bit of tiny house winterization. We'll start at the tongue of the trailer. You can see that I've skirted my tiny house. I have a whole blog post about how to skirt your tiny house with the type of skirting I chose, which is foam, and then I wrapped it in some lattice afterwards just to make it look nice. If you look closely, you can actually see like the duct tape that I attached it to the trailer. I also used some nails here and there, but it's yeah, it was an afternoon of cutting and attaching and really pretty easy to do. Other thing to note here is that I have a propane heated blanket. Really important because last winter my propane pressure got really low. I was in Colorado, it got really cold, and also high altitude has something to do with that. So my propane water heater didn't get enough propane and it actually froze and my pipes burst, and it was a really expensive fix. So now I have this really fancy and expensive propane heat blanket. Obviously you could also just wrap your propane tanks with insulation if you wanted, but I went ahead and bought this because I was in Colorado. Now in Oregon I maybe could have gotten away with just insulating it, but since I have it, I use it and I love it and I've had no problems. Here's my little propane gauge. So at this point I'm still good, but once I'm not, I'll just flip my little propane tank and start using this one, which is full and ready to go. Okay, moving on. You can see a little bit more of the skirt here. I didn't end up skirting in between the wheels because I got lazy pretty much. But it's also not gonna get down to probably less than 20 degrees Fahrenheit here. Not too cold, but I can definitely tell inside my tiny house that there is no skirting here. It's a little colder. So if you're in a really cold climate, I would suggest actually doing that. Keep on moving. I didn't skirt the front underneath the stairs here because I wanted to access underneath my tiny house. I have some stuff underneath there that I definitely need to grab occasionally. Just a little beauty shot while we're at it. Okay, now we're getting into the fun stuff. So this is my gray water line, and I'm actually propping it up with the support system. You can buy this on Amazon, and I have a whole post about this as well, but this helps make sure that it is being fed down to the sewer. You can't even see it because it's under the snow here, but it's really important to have a gravity working for you. So you need to make sure that this is actually going downhill. I wrapped my spigot in insulation. This is just like a $10 roll you can buy at Home Depot. It doesn't look that great, but I just used zip ties and some duct tape, and it's so far kept it from freezing. I've had some other people here at the RV park tell me that their spigots have frozen because they didn't do this precaution, so I would definitely recommend it. If you're in a really cold climate, you're going to want to use heat tape around this as well. I just insulated, and so far so good. But one thing I did get this year is a heated hose. That's this beautiful blue Camco heated hose here. It's 25 feet in length. You can get them in all sorts of different lengths, but I didn't have too far to go. In fact, I have some extra. Yeah, and so this protects my hose from freezing really great. Last year I didn't have one and I had to fill my tank. I have a water tank on the inside and I had to fill it every 2 days, and that was a real pain. So now I can just stay connected to water all winter, and I don't have to worry about running out and filling the tank. So that's really great. And it's relatively inexpensive. It's only, I think it's like $100 or a little over $100. That's pretty affordable considering I don't have to go outside and fill the tank. I will definitely pay that to not have to do that all winter long. You just plug it into an outlet. So I have it plugged in right over here. And that's it. It has these little insulated covers that can go up over the spigot. You can see you can use either side, so they have like a little female and male adapter that you put on the end. And this is where the water goes in. This is my water inlet. I have a whole post on plumbing, an article that I wrote about it, so I'll put that in the description if you're interested in plumbing. This is another part of my utilities, just my electric. Don't really have to do anything there. Electric works fine in the winter. But I will mention that for my propane water heater that vents through the floor, I had to cut a hole in my skirting. Really important to make sure that all vents are able to receive air. So also with my wood stove, which is about here, it's receiving air through this hole. And I'm sure raccoons are living underneath there as well. Something else to be concerned about if you have if you make a nice little warm haven for critters in the fall, in the winter. Okay, so that's part of the winterization process that you do. Altogether, you know, the skirt was probably the biggest biggest amount of work for me labor-wise. I would say, maybe it's a full day worth of work, including the lattice. But everything else is pretty easy. Just to make sure you're prepared and make sure the inside of your tiny house stays warm so that things don't freeze. I try to make sure, even when I'm out of town, that it doesn't get under 55 degrees in there. I don't want my compost to die. There are, little bioorganisms inside of the compost that I don't want to perish, so I also don't want my plants inside to die. So I try to keep it a decent temperature in there. I use my wood stove for heat. I use 2 types of electric heating. Make sure you check out the description area for more on heating my tiny house. If you like this video, make sure to click subscribe. For more tiny house tours, click here, and for tiny house lifestyle videos, click here.